Welcome back to GovCon Insights. I'm Steve Graff, and we're working on this gpo.gov series of videos to try to get you comfortable with the gpo.gov site as far as bidding, winning bids, how to find opportunities. And in this episode, we're going to pull up an opportunity. We're going to go through it line by line and show you some of the clauses that you'll have to understand before you can place bids on these items. On the screen, I am in the contractorconnection.gpo.gov, which is basically the list of opportunities that are available for bidding right now as we speak. Currently has 27 items on the list for bid. We're going to work with one in particular. I'm going to scroll down to this particular one, 546. Here they are, the envelope 633. I'm going to click over here to the left on the jacket number. This is the identification number for that opportunity, and it's going to pull up the full jacket. This particular one is 4 pages. And then we're going to go through this line by line, and I'm going to explain a few things to you. Now, this by no means is all of the clauses that you will see, but we're going to go through this one because it will have the most common clauses that we typically work with on this deal. On this one, now I've got that jacket pulled up. So let's go through this real quick. First off, this is what they all look like. They all say quotation request, U.S. Government Publishing Office. Right here on the left, it will have the region that it has issued the jacket. There's several regions around the country that handle these. Here is your jacket number. Every email you ever send will have that jacket number on it so they can be searched for easily and found. Now here's pretty important. Quotations are due by. This is really key. This particular one, the quotations are due 11 a.m. on 11/22, and that is Eastern Time. Now the system is automated, so when that time rolls around, it automatically drops off the list and you're no longer able to place any bids on that particular jacket. So let's look first at the title. This particular one, the title is 9.5 by 12 Golden Craft Envelope with Window. The next one is the quantities. This particular one says 6,002 total craft envelopes with vertical window, including 2 GPO samples. So what that tells you is they want 6,000 envelopes, but what you're going to have to do if you win this bid is you're going to have to produce 2 pre-production samples, send them to the contracting officers. So they actually included in the quantity line those extra 2 pieces you're going to have to do. Now this next one is on every one of them, submission of quotes. The vendor is to submit the quote via quick quote, which is the gpo.gov quoting window. It's in a previous video. You can go in and see how quotes are submitted. It's super easy. Pre-award survey. Pay attention to this, especially if you're new in this game. If you win a bid, most of the time the contracting officer is going to send you an email and they're going to ask for all of this stuff right here up front. They want to see a P&L, they want to see a balance sheet, they want to see your statement of cash flows, your bank statements, your lines of credit, so they know you can get it paid for and fund the deal up front. Be prepared for that. Even if you're a new business, have something put together so you can answer this contract officer in a way that makes them feel comfortable sending you the awarded contract. So they'll review those. Let's assume they get that all correct. Here's some more things you're going to have to know. Trim size. We already know this from the title that the envelopes they want are 9.5 inches by 12 inches. Here's the schedule of events from the government. Furnished material will be available for pickup 11/22. Now what that means is any artwork that's needed, any items the government is providing you with so that you can complete this order will be given to you by November 22nd. With GPO, how that happens is they typically email you an art file or the typesetting layout, the way they want these envelopes produced. Now here's a really important one you need to pay attention to. Deliver complete to arrive at destination by December 11th. What that means is once you've been awarded this contract, you've received the art files. They want all 6,000 of those envelopes delivered by December 11th. Put that on your calendar. You don't want to be late on one of these. It does count against you if you're late. It goes in your file. They look at your record when they award these bids. So don't be late. Know that December 11th is the day they want these. Okay, FOB destination. That just means that your quote needs to include all of the shipping costs to the final destination. You cannot invoice them for the envelopes and then add shipping costs later. It has to be included in that initial number. You're gonna, let's see, the next one, contractor must email delivery verification. So once it's delivered, you've got your proof of delivery, which could be as simple as the tracking information from UPS or FedEx or however they were sent that shows that they were in fact delivered and who signed for them. And you'll email that information to this email address here within 24 hours of the product being delivered. Super easy stuff. Quality level, you'll need to pay attention to the quality assurances. In a previous video, showed you where those were on the main GPO page. The description is pretty important. This is where they put how they want these envelopes or this product, whatever it is, to look. This one says type and rule, vertical window type envelope, printing on the face only, which means the imprint's only on one side, and it's basically a return address text that prints in the upper left corner with the word to printed at the bottom head, and they'll send you a sample email to show you what that's going to look like. The construction, that's going to tell you how they want it constructed. It's pretty much a normal manila type envelope. The vertical window, here's the description of that. This basically gives you all the specs and measurements for the item that you need. Now here's where it says material furnished. Now I told you earlier up top, the schedule, the furnished material will be available by November 22nd. This tells you what material they're going to give you. The contractor is to receive a PDF to be used as the manuscript copy. It's pretty easy, simple stuff. They're going to send you a PDF that shows you exactly what this envelope needs to look like. Move on down, paper. It must be in accordance with the JCP specification. Once again, those specifications and the quality details were in that previous video. You can find them on the GPO website where they go into all the specs for paper products and the standards you have to uphold for that. The color of ink, it says the ink must contain a minimum of 20% vegetable oil. Most print shops are using that kind of stuff now, so that's pretty standard. It also tells you the color of ink is black. Pretty easy stuff. You're printing on one side only. The margins just follow the sample that they send you. Now here's pretty important, proofs. When they send you that PDF file that shows you how it's supposed to look, you need to create a virtual digital sample of what the art's going to look like on the sized envelope. You will email a PDF of that before the 24th, so they give you 2 days to put that virtual sample together. You'll email it to 2 different people, and I've redacted those emails again. And then they will send you an OK to print confirmation. This particular one is not asking for a pre-production sample, which is the actual item sent to them in advance so they can approve it. But I'll show you as we scroll down this thing, they're actually asking for blue label copies. So packaging, it's pretty important on a lot of these. This one is pretty generic. Inner packaging must be sufficient to prevent damage. They want it boxed in units of 500 pieces. Once again, pretty normal stuff. Just tell the print shop that's how you want them boxed. They'll take care of it. We're going to go to distribution next. Immediately after the order has been shipped, the contractor must furnish shipping information to the agency. Basically, once it ships, email the contract officer the tracking information. That's all they need. In that email, make sure you have the order title, the jacket number, any requisition numbers, the date of shipment, the quantity, and the tracking information. It's real simple. They just want to keep an eye on this order until it's fulfilled. So for distribution, you're going to email them the tracking information on that order. Here's the address that you're going to deliver it to. Now here's those extra 2 pieces. Now remember, these were not done as pre-production samples on this particular order. They're done as blue label copies, so they can ship exactly the same time you ship the full 6,000 pieces. You're going to send 2 samples to this different address. That's so they can have a hard copy of it, make sure it meets the specs, and everything's good to go on that. And these are called blue label copies. Now the Form 2678 that's used for these, and you will include one with this shipment. You can download it off of GPO's website. It's a simple 1-page document that you fill out and put with these copies. They call it blue label copies because that form actually used to be blue, and it would be attached to those. It's no longer blue. You print it off of your computer and fill it out just on a normal white piece of paper, but they still call it a blue label. As you scroll down, you get into some more quality assurance attributes. It describes the quality levels you have to maintain. These can all be found on GPO's website, the standards. Then you get down to payment. With GPO, you will always use the GPO fax gateway to submit your invoice for payment. There is a table of contents listed in that tells you exactly how to do it. There is a barcode page, your invoice, a copy of the PO, any modifications that need to be added. Once again, gpo.gov tells you where that fax gateway is and how to use that. Once you've delivered the item, sent the confirmation, then you can submit your invoice through the fax gateway. And depending on the terms of the deal, most of them are net 30. If your invoice packet is correct, you'll have payment within 30 days. There will be some different clauses included on other jackets. Some of them will have the Made in America clause you'll have to pay attention to. Some of them will have pre-production sample clauses that you'll have to pay attention to. The bottom line for looking at these jackets is read the entire jacket from start to finish at least once. And then if you win the bid, make sure you read it in detail and comply with all the different statements that are on here. Now, if you would, subscribe to the channel, like and share if you like what you're seeing here. And if you've got specific questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll be more than happy to respond to as many of them as I can. Once again, thanks for watching. Now go have the best day ever.